Oh, my mic's on. I thought it was off. Hope I didn't make any weird noises into it. That would be embarrassing. Hey, Calamaris! It's a Super Squid Bro Super Show. It's also Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But I am still your Squid Bro, Onika. Figured I'd play some Sonic 3 and Knuckles today. Because, I got some work done early, and, you know, do you really need an excuse to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles? I don't think so. I don't think so. Hey, Onika, I went to see Mercy. Oh, you mentioned that. You were looking forward in air quotes to seeing that in IMAX on Saturday, and it sucked. Well, sorry or glad to hear that, depending on if it was the enjoyable kind of suck or the unenjoyable kind of suck. I shouldn't say things like that. That makes it bit odd of a way to say that. Anyway, hey, yeah, I had some fun stuff happen. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But for those who don't know, I am in the East Coast. I am in New Jersey. There's a lot of snow. There is a lot of snow. And I am trapped inside. And they only just now came around with the snowblower cart things. Just finished up our walkway. I did go out a couple times just to, you know, do some battle damage assessment, you know, give a sit rep, as it were. Okay, that's not too loud. Oh, jeez. You didn't see that. Hold on. You didn't see that I did, just ignore that. Anyway, yeah, so I'm kind of snowed in. And I also got some work done. I sent a completed commission out to a client. And although I have another I could work on, I figured I'd give myself a bit of a rest. You know? Give myself a little bit of a recuperation period. And we're going to do that by playing some Sonic 3 and Knuckles. At least we're getting Send Help this week. Sam Raimi's new horror film. Oh! Basically his take on Castaway. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, let's, gotta get this screen, it's important. Oh, look at that pre-render uncanny Sonic. Ugh. And the music? Oh my goodness. Now, I don't remember what happens. What's the attract mode of this? Okay, it just goes basically into Angel Island. I feel like I haven't actually seen the attract mode of Sonic 3 and Knuckles in the longest time. For you youngins, attract mode is what you would call it when you let a game idle for a while. You would have this, like, set up in, you know, it comes from arcade machines. But, you would have the game set up like this in, like, kiosks, so people could see it run and get a little sample of what to expect. A lot of games don't have that anymore. They just sort of idle on their start screen, which for some reason runs at 4,000 frames a second and melts whatever box you're playing it on. So it's actually like the least, like, you don't want to let a game idle on the title screen nowadays. Which version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles am I playing? So this is the original Genesis version right now. I would like to play every version of the game at some point, like all in a row. But I figured I'd just go with the OG Genesis version right now, because this is, you know, it's just kind of like a, not really like a comfy stream, maybe like the comfiest thing I do to a comfy stream. I don't know, let's start. I just kind of wanted something to hit buttons in and yap. Oh my god, look, we're picking up right after Sonic the Hedgehog 2. We've gone Super Saiyan, and oh no, Piccolo is here! He's gonna steal all the Dragon Balls. We're gonna have to go off to Planet Namek to find him. So yeah, we got our little Insta-Shield. We got our Spin Dash. We got Tails. We can kind of... Oh, he doesn't... It's way harder. Okay, it's way harder to cheat with Tails in this. I remember that. I remember they made it a lot easier in Origins, but, much, much, much harder to, like, do a little ice climber action with Tails in this. Anyway, here's the most important thing in the game. It's Blue Sphere. we love a Blue Sphere stage. I don't remember what... Perfect just gets you continue, right? I don't think I'll really care about the perfect bonus. Oh, it's weird going back to these framey ones after being so used to Origins and Mania having the smooth, buttery smooth Blue Sphere. So, like, allegedly, these were actually based on Goku's training on King Kai's planet, chasing around Bubbles the monkey, who was named after Michael Jackson's chimpanzee, Bubbles. And then, of course, Michael Jackson would work on the soundtrack, or at least his sound team would work on the soundtrack for this. So, like, I don't know, man. It's weird that, like, the nexus point of everything Sonic 3 related is Michael Jackson. Hey, do you like bonus games? Because we're going to do another one. Oh no, it's gambling. Oh no. Welcome to the next 37 hours of your life. Is just me doing this? No, I'm kidding. Oh my god, look at this terrible. Terrible. Come on, the house is definitely rigged. Ugh. Oh my god, you know what? You know what? Get me out of here. There we go. I know Mania brought Blue Sphere back, but it wasn't for Chaos Emeralds. Yeah! It was... What was it for, actually? It was at the Star Post, but I don't remember. Was it just for... Oh, it was for the coins! It was for the 25th anniversary. Jeez, 10 years ago. Yeah, we're not going to do another one of those immediately. It was, what did those get you? I know they got you, like, the... Was it just for, like, debug mode and stuff? You would get coins to unlock, like, some of the bonus features. Which I can't remember all what were, aside from debug mode. Oh, I think it was, like, alternate moveset states for Sonic, so you could play it, like, CD. And things like that. Make sure to turn there, because that doesn't loop them. There has to be at least one sphere in the center to do the loop trick. Which is the coolest thing ever. These bonus stages are really good. Like, they're kind of just weird Pac-Man. Like, see this? I'm not going to have to turn. See? Because there are ones in the center. It's so cool, man. It's like the best bonus game ever. Nailed it. That's a squid, not a gorilla. Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's also a needle mouse, not a hedgehog. That's the same thing. So I hope you like the supersonic theme, because we're probably going to end up hearing it a lot as I continue through. Ooh, that was a little slow. Look at this guy. Little steam machine. Oh, thanks, Tails. Nah, you're an absolute peach. I appreciate it. Oh, look, it's my other favorite thing. The super jump. And that sound. Oh, it's so good. Actually, speaking of sound, let me know how the audio sounds, if this needs to be up a little bit. Superstars brought back the bonus stage for one, but it was for coins to buy clanker parts. Yes! Yeah, I do need to stream Superstars at some point, too. I quite like Superstars. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I honestly really enjoyed it. And I think aesthetically it was actually very nice. I think, like, there's a couple stages that look a little lame, but, you know. So anyway, hey, this is Onika. Hi, how you doing? Look, we got another bonus stage. It doesn't stop in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's all just Baru 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 on King Kai's planet. Baru 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 the whole time. So yeah, hey, for peeps who aren't aware, I didn't say anything about it because I wasn't sure if... I don't know, because I'm more paranoid and, spooked out by things than most people. You know, so I don't like to talk about plans that involve other people unless, you know, they talk about them. Honestly, in general, I like to just let other peeps make the first move for me, but, this Sunday, I actually got to... Or, sorry, this past Saturday. Oh, I'm losing track of the weeks. Anyway, yeah, Takako and I hung out in real life. We got sushi at a conveyor belt sushi place that was nearby. It was awesome. She is hilarious. Legitimately, like... She's so cool. She's like the nicest, coolest, funniest person I've ever met. The sushi place was awesome. Except they had these weird little robots that serve drinks, and they kept scaring the hell out of me because I sat with my blind eye, like, to them, and I didn't know there would be robots, and had I known that, I wouldn't have done that, but they kept scaring the absolute bejesus out of me. But aside from that, like, legitimately, I had a great time. She made me eat squid, which was cruel and unusual. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. It's not my go-to, though. It's so chewy. It's a very chewy meat. But overall, the experience was really great. And it's, you know, it makes me remember that, oh yeah, hanging out with people in real life is really cool. I really should invest in that more often, I think. Let me get across these. What I remember is Superstars gave the Emeralds each unique powers, a concept I'd like to see incorporated in later games. Yeah, I really liked that. Some of the powers were definitely way better than others. I know there's like a lore point that says like, Oh, they can only do that on the, Why is everything so framey? I'm gonna skip that bonus stage, I don't need it. Apparently they can only do it on those islands, like, according to the lore, which is why we've never seen that happen otherwise. But, I mean, I will say, yeah, I like... Oh, God, it's so... Hold on. There we go, cut out the sound. If you pause during that, it cuts out that high-pitched whine. This also is maybe the flying battery? I don't know. Or it, like, was originally meant to be the flying battery. But it looks pretty different from when we see it later. But yeah, I like the Emerald powers a lot more than the Wisps, if I'm being honest. I feel like it makes more sense with the lore. Like, conceptually, I like it more, and it also... It being as optional as it was, yeah, we're not going for that second shot. With it being so optional, you know, it feels like a bonus thing rather than... A lot of Wisp usage I don't like. It's too, like, oh, here's the stage where you use this. You have to use this. Whereas it's kind of like a neat resource management in Superstars. I don't know, I liked it. I thought it was neat. Oh my god, it's Knuckles, the Piccolo! Oh no, he's dunked us into Hydro City Zone. Oh my god, it's Michael Jackson. Yeah, close enough. What was I saying? Because I wanted to do that thing where I yap about stuff, about a good time I had. Oh no, we're drowning. Hold on, we can't yap yet. Welcome to Hydro City Zone, where the Hydro City is maximum. Yep. Hydrocket. Oh boy, every time, huh? I can't just go to the second level of Sonic 3 without... Man, I don't remember this guy being such a little punk. Well, you didn't make it, Tails. Okay. Pretty insane of them to make a water level Zone 2. You know, like, what the hell's up with that? Oh yeah, anyway. You can tell my brain is in, like, post-work mode and not in yap mode. I'll warm up to it. I'll warm up to it. Fortunately, Hydro City is the best water level in Sonic history, fact. Do I agree with that? Thing is, they kind of stopped doing water levels. I mean, is Aquatic Mine a water level? And is it fair to include Aquatic Mine just because I like the music? Is that something we're allowed to do? Can we do such a thing? I mean, yeah, it's an opinion. We can say whatever we want, basically. Even if we're wrong. Oh boy. Here's the spheres. Is this the sphere grid all the Final Fantasy players talk about? I don't know what. Never played a Final Fantasy to any meaningful capacity, so I don't really get the joke. Look at that. We can jump. We can yump. We can yop. Oh, there we go. Hey, there's where I'll start my story. So I live in a really weird residential area that's a bit labyrinthian. Almost like Labyrinth Zone. But, you know, without the drowning music. So I was like, hey, you know, I can give you my address, but it's probably easier if I just tell you, like, this parking area nearby. Because it's a nightmare here. So she's like, alright, you know, yeah, that makes sense. That works. I'm like, alright, just give me a heads up, because it was freezing out. It's absolutely freezing. But I was like, yeah, give me a heads up, I'll head out, you know, like... Oh, Lord, this guy. There's so many jokes with how to fight him. Well... So, you know... Takagoshi tells me when, like, she'll be here, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I head out there around the time. It's very funny because she immediately recognizes that it's me, despite... It's probably the tentacles, you know. And just goes, yop in, stranger, and I'm like, okay, yep, well, that's a good way to... just establish the proper person, but I'm like, man, am I that obvious? Like, do I look that much like an Onika in real life? Which, I mean, I guess that's good, right? Like, you want to, like... I guess if my appearance matches... that or just, you know, the simple fact, the shrimple fact that no one else would be out there in such... horrible cold weather. Where, like, I think it said, feels like 0 degrees with the wind chill. Oh my god. Favorite Sonic Chaos Emerald stage. So, I think for me, I think Mania has my favorites. I really like the 3D models. I really like the presentation of it. Hold on. I'm getting choked up. I'm getting choked up from all the needle mouse. No, my allergies are just bothering me. Which is crazy because it snowed. So I'm like, why would my allergies be acting up so much? Like, what am I allergic to? Ugh, okay. Oh, the pause is so scary in old Sonic. Yeah, I really like the Mania ones because it feels like what the series was headed towards. If you look at the stages from Chaotix, if you look at the Sonic CD stages, even like what they were doing with Saturn 3D Blast, it feels like it would have been the obvious next step. So I really like it for that, and plus they're just really fun. Second would definitely be, Blue Sphere. Blue Sphere is great. The rest is hard for me to rank. I think the Superstars ones are kind of funny. Because they just have mechanics that are nowhere else. By the way, another one. Another one. Oh look, it's the Ririka stage. This is just straight up her color palette. I know I've made that joke before, but... It's true. And, like, I kind of like the Superstars ones because they're so easy to cheese. But it's like a weird grappling hook thing that's nowhere else. Like, I don't really understand it, but they're kind of cool. Okay. No. Gotta listen for the Baru. See? As long as you hear that Baru, you're good. Oh look, Final 9! Baru, Baru, Baru. How good are you with these balls? Are you confident with your ability to conquer Sonic 3's blue balls and get the Super Emeralds? I am not. I'm just gonna go for the regular Emeralds. Because honestly, like, I don't feel the Super Emeralds are worth it. If I'm being for real, okay, here's my controversial classic Sonic take. I don't really get the love some people have for Hypersonic other than vague Dragon Ball parallel power scaling. Because Hypersonic and the Super Emeralds in general, like, the Super Emeralds were something they added to make Sonic 3 and Knuckles more of a complete package with more, like, bonus stuff. Like, oh wow, now there's 14 whole special stages and 14 whole Emeralds to get. And even though Hypersonic has, like, the screen clear move, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like as a gameplay mechanic, the task it is to unlock Supersonic is worth it. It's pretty easy, you know. The special stages to get Hypersonic are so much harder, and all you really get is that screen clear move. And, like, not much else. And then, like, what's the lore implications, right? Well, I kind of felt like the idea, you know, the lore implications is we don't really know. They don't really talk about the Super Emeralds. I don't really think they're a thing. I think it's just kind of like restoring the power of the Chaos Emeralds or whatever. I don't know. It's very clearly like a bonus thing that they put in there to give you more to do when you lock on the games, right? It's like a marketing gimmick. Yeah, considering Hypersonic is like a one-and-done thing, like, I don't know, I feel like peeps really overinflate the importance of Hypersonic. Well, we went in the water that extinguished our flame. You'll find your flame. But yeah, like, and I see the Super Saiyan 3 comparison, and yeah, it's kind of like that, I guess. It's like, oh, crapola, I can't. Oh, I can get up there. Okay. Yeah, it does feel very Super Saiyan 3, where it's like, it's a cool thing, and it looks cool, and everyone loves it, but ultimately, it is just aura farming, you know? The reality is, we don't actually know much about Hypersonic's canonical abilities. We don't really know the lore implications of, you know, and it's, you gotta be realistic. At the end of the day, it really is just a second set of bonus levels that you can only get if you buy both games and lock them on. You know, it's a marketing gimmick. That's fine. I don't mind that. What I mind is this idea that it's, yeah, like, more important than it actually is. Like, it might as well be non-canon. And I know a lot of people would be upset by me saying that. And I understand liking the idea of Hypersonic, but, like, we have what it is to go further beyond now, right? We have Supersonic 2, as it's called in the files. You know, and that mechanically does at least have the perfect parry system, which really just means, like, that that it's technically, like, less good because you have to parry perfectly. But you can parry attacks that normal Supersonic can't parry, and it has story implications, and it's also probably a one-and-done thing, but it's more established, so, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like if they wanted to reintroduce Hypersonic, they would have to completely, reinvent it. And that's the thing, like, the version of Hypersonic that a lot of people create now is, it looks cool. It's basically white Supersonic with a rainbow aura and, like, eyes that flash different colors or, like, every color at once, and, like, Whereas that's cool, that's not what it looks like in this game. What it looks like in this game is Supersonic, but he flashes the 7 colors of the Chaos Emeralds. Which is cool, but you can't really... It doesn't look as good in 3D. It's impossible to capture well in a still image. I didn't think I'd be talking about... I thought I'd be talking about a wonderful time I had with a friend in person. I am still smiling about because I legitimately had such a good time. But instead we're talking about the lore implications of hypersonic, which is fine. That is more par for the course for me, I suppose, to talk about on these streams. Okay, wait, this'll tie it together, though. On the way back, Takako did ask me, she's like, okay, so in that video where he says there's red spheres, there's blue spheres, there's yellow spheres as well, what do the yellow spheres do? And I had to explain. I was like, thank you for that. Thank you for giving me an excuse to explain the blue sphere stages. They're basically jump panels. They just bounce you forward a certain amount. And they're only there for, like, the Super Emerald stages and the bonus 4 billion stages. Time for the weirdest boss in Sonic 3. Yeah, this one's pretty odd. I don't even really think about it, if I'm being honest. Like, it's not particularly difficult. It's just a little odd. Yeah, I don't know, like, I wish I liked Hypersonic more, but in order for me to like Hypersonic more, I have to start thinking that a lot of, like, fan theory and fan creation is canonical, and at that point, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just something else entirely. It's the zone before the Barrel of Doom zone, that's correct. Okay, this stage trips me up sometimes, because you have to do that crap. Also, I do not like the color palette. But this is cool, right? Because it's kind of puzzly. You uncork paths. I legitimately think Blue Sphere is, like, such a cool bonus feature. And again, it's very... This is one of those things that... Man, this is the most Sega Genesis-looking thing ever. Like, peeps really love to glaze the Super Nintendo, and I like a lot of Nintendo stuff, don't get me wrong. But the Super NES trying to run something like this would be like, hey, enjoy your 5 frames a second, idiot. Oh, shoot. And this is where they start to get a little more... Oh, there we go. Tricky. You have to kind of have, like, a mental map of the area. And that stupid red sphere is usually the marker where you want to go over here and get these. But make sure you turn around right there. I'm not doing this on purpose, I swear to freaking God. It's just what happens when you play the blue spheres. And then we slow down and we get the emerald. You can't help it, you gotta sing along. Anyway, we got all the Dragon Balls. So we're gonna wish to unlock Super Saiyan immortality so we can beat Frieza. Now, unfortunately, this is OG Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So anytime I want to do this anymore, if I have over 50 rings, I shrimply can't. By the way, cameo for the boss fight. I love this spike ball. Oh, it's so cool. Okay. What you see now is my normal state. This is a supersonic. We don't have a supersonic that's ascended beyond supersonic. We won't be getting that. So, I hope you like this song, because we're going to be hearing it a lot. Oh yeah, also because I haven't yet gotten 100 rings. If I collect 100 rings, I will get an extra life. But the game is smart. If I go down past 99 and get another one, it will not give me another extra life. Somehow it actually keeps track of that. Yeah, we're faster, we're bigger, faster, we're stronger too. We're invincible. There we go. Special stages now just become 50 rings. Game basically becomes free. Bosses basically become free. Saw a video that was talking about... I think I might have seen that recommended. Talking about, like, Dragon Ball counterparts in Sonic. I don't know if I agree with Chi-Chi as Amy. Well, I can kind of see it. Actually, yeah, I can kind of see it. In a way. Especially, like, Sonic X Amy compared to, like, Anime Z Chi-Chi, where, like, they would get very angry. But still have, you know, like a, yeah, okay, maybe a bit. God is a different form. Oh yeah, Super Saiyan, like... Yeah, no, it's really weird. So the whole Super Saiyan 2 thing... Originally that was like Super Saiyan Grade 3? Or whatever that... Oh lord, now I'm talking about... weird, inconsistent Dragon Ball. Ah, see, look, I got over 100 rings from 99. It didn't give me an extra life. Yeah, the Super Saiyan 1, 2, etc. was something afterwards. Originally, it was like... there was Super Saiyan Grade 1 was what Goku goes on Namek against Frieza. And it's got the very fluffy hair. And then it gets, like, spikier, and that's Grade 2, I think? And I think Super Saiyan Grade 3 is the really buff one? I don't know, it's... I don't remember. But then eventually... like... I think the first time it's called Super Saiyan 2, which is the thing that Gohan goes against Perfect Cell, and it's got the electricity and the slightly different hair. I think the first time that's ever said is to Babidi and Boo. And, like, the line is, like, this is a Super Saiyan that is ascended beyond Super Saiyan, which was, like, their whole goal during the, like, androids and Cell arc. It's really weird. It's like what we think about as Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 is like naming conventions that they came up with afterwards. Then you got Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Oh my god, Dragon Ball is so weird. And like, whoa. Okay. Sure. Oh yeah, shield? Shield blocks off your second jump, so you can just, like, have a shield and gather rings. And not worry about going further beyond. Which is a nice feature. But yeah, like, the way this all relates to Sonic, right, is that, like, I get the desire. And, like, they did eventually give us Super Sonic 2. He's got the blue eyes, he's got, like, you know, red and blue electricity around him, he can do, like, Ultra Instinct perfect parries, you know. It's really cool, I really like it, but yeah, I've seen a lot of... I see a lot of talk with the super forms in Sonic that I just, like, well, I disagree with. Like, there's peeps that are like, oh, I think other characters should be able to use, like, other non-hedgehogs should be able to use emeralds to power up. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. I think it's kind of ridiculous that Knuckles can't, like, Knuckles can channel the Master Emerald. Which, technically, Knuckles should be able to beat anyone who uses... Okay, hold up. Here we go. I'm about to power scale. Look what you've done to me. Look at what you've done to me. This is what's gonna happen. How the reason Super Saiyan needed to become more common was the reason Super Saiyan became a thing, not having to ink hair all the time. Yeah, and they worked it, I think it was worked into the story really cool. Like, I actually really like the Android and Cell arcs, and how it's like, it treats Super Saiyan as like a dead end, right? Like, it gives you a power boost, but it's a very finite power boost. So there has to be something that is further beyond. There has to be something that they can ascend past. And that's where Super Saiyan 2 as, like, a narrative device comes from. And, like, the training that, like, Goku and Gohan end up developing where it's, like, instead of needing to be really angry to be Super Saiyan, they can just chill in that form, and that's, like, the best form of training. And they kind of treat it as their base form. God damn it, Flea Bath. Oh, the Flea Bath. So narratively, I think that's really cool, right? Like, I know some people think, like, some people think every arc is the arc where it started to go downhill. Whatever, I don't really care. I know I like it. That's all I know. I like it. I like how they treat Super Saiyan 2. I like how when it's finally revealed, it is a big deal. Because we see a Gohan that's been fighting with, like, composure in Super Saiyan the whole time, finally loses it, very similar to, whoops, how Goku lost it against Frieza. And that's what allows him, it's like you're mastering Super Saiyan as your base form, but then you get pushed further in that base and become something that's ascended past it. I actually think narratively, like, not even talking about power scaling, not even talking about shonen numbers and all that shit, I think as a narrative device, that is really cool. The problem I have with how a lot of people then correlate the obvious Sonic parallels is, like, that's not what Super Sonic is, right? Super Sonic is not, like, an emotion-based, lineage-based power-up. It is a MacGuffin-based power-up. It seems to require, like, a lot of skill, because not everyone can use Chaos Emeralds. And even, like, when you see Silver in Sonic 06, like, he kind of, like, last-ditch tries to use Chaos Control and it works for him. But, like, you don't see, like, anyone being able to use it, right? So there's definitely something there that it's, like, you know, only certain characters can do it, only certain, you know. But you get all 7, and Sonic and Shadow and Silver basically become all-powerful and what have you. So by that logic, Knuckles, with his ability to nullify Chaos Emeralds with the Master Emerald, should be the strongest character. But, you know, on that note, what about Beast Gohan? Yeah, I haven't actually seen... I'm very behind on Dragon Ball stuff, so I don't know. Like, I don't really even know what Beast Gohan is. I don't really... I think it is funny that Dragon Ball went to the all, like, different, like, there's so many unique power-ups now. Which kind of is the thing with a lot of anime nowadays, is, like, everyone gets their own little power-up that's, like, unique to them, which can be also a cool narrative thing. Problem I have is that people want to apply that to Sonic as well. And yeah, you get, like, the Soul Emeralds, right? And, like, Burning Blaze. That's cool. But that's a thing that they, like, kind of have set up as, like, that's the equivalent of the emeralds in, like, her time and everything. Or, like, her dimension, or whatever the case is now. I don't know. I feel like I've seen people be like, oh yeah, like, here's, like, what Tails' power-up would be. I'm like, does Tails need, like, a fighty power-up? Because, like, every arc with Tails that they've ever done, even, like, you know, especially, like, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and, you know, even some stuff in Frontiers. By the way, Super Sonic again. Even a lot of the stuff in Frontiers is like, no, Tails isn't, like, a fight boy. He uses his intellect. He uses, like, he's still definitely athletic and mobile and can keep up, but he's not gonna throw hands the way, like, Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow are. Even Amy in some cases. Yeah, Tails just needs the drone strikes. By the way, those hits on him in the prior screen actually count, so I only had to bump into him once. Super Sonic really just destroys these. It's so funny. Blaze is great, though. Yes, I agree. We need, Burning Blaze is awesome. Like, legitimately. That is what she's called, right? It is Burning Blaze. Blaze is super rad, yeah. Like, I've got no problem with her having her own form, with the Soul Emeralds, with all of that stuff. I actually, hey, you want a weird, hey, you want a real headcanon? Here's my headcanon. Here's my headcanon. I think alright, think about this for a second, right? Feast your eyes on this one. So, the Eggman of her world, that also might be just the bad future, is Eggman Nega. Be very careful when saying his name. But the Eggman of Blaze's world, right? I believe it's like Sonic Rivals 2 says he's a descendant of Eggman. From like 200 years in the future. Here's what I think. I think that Eggman, given that he's wearing black and has white hair, I think now, if they have to... I think he's gonna get retconned into, like, something Sage-related. Like, oh, Sage tried to, like, bring back Eggman, and the data got corrupted and turned into him. That's my head-ass take. Because I don't want to live in a world where he is actually Eggman's descendant, and thus I have to think about the concept that not only did Eggman fuck, but the Eggman bloodline, the robotic bloodline, is alive and well. But considering we already have an Eggman who considers Sage his daughter, I could definitely see, like, between that gap of time being, like, you know, Sage is all alone for, like, hundreds of years, and it's like, I'm gonna try to bring him back. And then, oh no! Oh no! He's a little cheeky, and he's a weird, corrupted, yeah, Eggman, which would explain why he's so much, like... Because he's not just a carbon copy of Eggman, he's, like, way more, like, weird. Nightblaze. Okay, so here's the thing I will say, yeah. If they want to do the alternate super form thing, yeah, I think the storybook stuff is the way to do it. Like, because Excalibur Sonic is cool as shit. That design goes so hard. I have so many rings. I think other MacGuffins, because, like, the Sonic world is weird, right? There's a bunch of magical MacGuffins and weird, like, artifacts and things. Whoa, why did that... Whoa, I'm way too used to the Mania and Origins hitboxes. That would have killed me. mean, yeah, like, this is a world filled with, like, ancient civilizations that have dabbled in technologies and rituals they shouldn't have. Like, in the background, oh no, it's a barrel. In the background of the Sonic universe is, like, tons of, like, those sort of implications. Tails is just having a ball over there. And, you know, the storybooks are, like, their own little isekai things. I don't know. I think that's fine, but I think this idea that, like, everyone needs to have, like... I would be fine with Knuckles getting, like, a Master Emerald's power-up. Or, like, just just anti-chaos energy tech. You know, like, straight up, like, oh no, this thing's powered by Chaos Emeralds, and Knuckles is like, not gonna do shit against me. Like, that would be fine, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of, like, oh, people really want Sonic to be way more Dragon Ball than it is, and it's pretty Dragon Ball, but it doesn't need to be that. People forget that it's Dragon Ball, right? It's not Dragon Ball Super, it's not Dragon Ball Z, it's not Dragon Ball GT. It's an adventure series. It seems a bit too close to Pender's territory. I mean, Pender's, everything he did was ridiculously derivative. I'm just going based off of what they established the Emeralds can do as a power-up in, like, Sonic Adventure. So, like, if they wanted to do something like that, there is an established thing for it. I just don't like the idea of, yeah, like, all the, like, oh, there needs to be, like, a billion... Everyone needs a billion power-ups and different. I'm like, why, though? Like, save that for, like, the boss creatures, right? Like, save that for, like... I don't know, an ancient evil has awakened, and he's gonna eat the Chaos Emeralds and become a big kaiju monster. When it comes to storybook duology, they did give Sonic, yeah, 2 super forms. Yeah, and I think that's cool. I think giving him, like, different forms based on, the setting he's in and whatever equivalent MacGuffin is in that world is fine. Because I get the idea of wanting to see, like, a bunch of different crazy power-ups. Like, it is cool, right? My monkey brain, my Ukuk peanut brain, by the way, you press up and down on these. They're not canon if I remember correctly. I don't know how it... Because they happen, but they happen in a different world. Like, I don't think you could bring those power-ups outside of the weird isekai that they take place in, you know? Yeah, sure. Hey, Knuckles. Like, they definitely, like, because they make references to them happening. But, I should have known by playing a Sonic game I would end up talking way too much about Sonic lore. I should have played something else. It's fine. No, that's what we're here for, though. You know, the Sonic guy, he talks about the Sonic things. Hey, here's a question. What the hell are even the Chaos Rings? You know? No one's asking that question. What are those? They're not the World Rings. The Chaos Rings. What did they even do? I do remember Perfect Chaos. He's pretty cool. He's literally just a kaiju. Like, straight up. Like... Yeah, there's just an entity living in the Master Emerald. He's cool now, though, is the thing. He's chill about it. Switch on the power! Oh, shoot. Back from another work call. Welcome back! Where did he go during SA2? No, he's chill. Oh no, it's the hardest thing ever. Okay, so this actually is bullshit. Nothing else in the game requires you to do this. Listen, people who said they figured it out in 2 seconds, I don't believe them. But it does take 2 seconds to get through. They definitely designed it to be a trick, is the thing. It is not obvious, and they designed it to be a trick because if it wasn't a trick, they wouldn't have locked you into the room. Anyway. Oh. If I remember correctly, they basically excess energy from the Master Emerald giving physical form during the time it was atop the area of Sonic 3 and Knuckles' as power seeped the sunken, isolated island to kick off Chaotix. You know what? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, like, there's always been, like, an underlying implication that, like, regular-ass rings are somehow related to Chaos Energy or Chaos Emeralds. Because then you even have, like, the design of the inhibitor rings that Shadow has that are artificial things. You know, like... And that's the same game that gave us Artificial Chaos, Chaos Drives, a fake Chaos Emerald made by Tails, you know. And the whole theme is the natural versus the artificial, so, like... There's weird consistency in Sonic lore. By the way, this guy's an idiot. There we go, he's gone. People like, if you're stuck, just press all the buttons and see it works. Why would I think holding down works if it goes back up? And that's the thing, right? This game, everything is solved. This is a game that tells you that everything is solved. The D-pad is only movement, and jumping is how you interact with the world. By the way, hard times. Also, this is what it looks like outside right now. Real footage of New Jersey at this very moment. This is what they're doing to me tomorrow. I always enjoy trying to make sense out of things in the series underlying the lore. Yeah. Yeah, no, same. That's the thing. Like, and there is... Like, there's definitely a lot of stuff where it's like, okay, realistically, at the end of the day, they wanted bonus games and a secret, you know, a secret thing to do. But, like... Someone on the team definitely had some ideas, right? Like, they didn't do these things completely arbitrarily. Someone at some point had the idea to make these things connect. And... You know, like, so... Whether or not that got lost over time, or, like, maybe someone will make it connect in the future officially, you know... And it's just fun to think about. It's neat. It's neat to consider. As long as you don't get too... The only problem with stuff like that is when people get really upset about it. It's like, you know, gotta be chill. Gotta be cool. Also, Cronus, thank you for giving Demi a sub. I appreciate it. I will be making emotes in the near future. I know I keep saying it, but it will happen. Basis for the Death Egg, coming from Eggman's imprisonment of Little Planet and CD in the Death Egg Mark II and Sonic 4 Episode 2 is a combination of both of those ideas. I could see that, yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, there's nothing that really says... Sorry, we gotta interrupt the music. There's nothing that really says that that can't be the case. I always looked at, like, so like Metal Sonic is an interesting one, right? Oh my god, look at that wide Femi. That's great. I love that. Metal Sonic is an interesting one because he's the first chronologically, like, Metal Sonic robot doppelganger. And he ends up being more advanced. But, you know, you get the two Mecha Sonics after him. But Mecha Sonic Mark 1, the one that's in Death Egg Zone of Sonic 2, looks like a prototype. So I've always assumed that, like, okay, Metal Sonic was an experiment, and, like, he failed, maybe because he was too fast. He didn't have, like, Sonic's abilities. He just, you know, at the time, didn't have Sonic's abilities. He just was a jet engine that went real fast. Mecha Sonic, every time there's a Mecha Sonic fight, including on the Game Gear, it fights in a certain way that involves, like, jumping into a spinning ball and, like, doing things that Sonic does to fight. So I always looked at it like Metal Sonic was originally an experiment to copy Sonic's speed, the thing that defeated Eggman before. Metal Sonic failed, so we tossed him aside and got to work on a new prototype, Mecha Sonic, to copy Sonic's abilities, but it was incomplete. By the time you get to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you get the Mecha Sonic Mark II, which is a more complete prototype and can use Chaos Energy and all that stuff. It even has its own super form and, like, energy projection and such. And then, later on, you start to get versions of Metal Sonic in, like, Sonic the Fighters and, like, you know, like a bunch of the other, like, spin-offs and things like that, and later Heroes, where Metal Sonic can copy abilities. So it's like, okay, like, I always, I always used to think, like, okay, there's probably a reason for that. And that would make sense why you don't really see Mecha Sonics anymore. Oh, sweet, 111 rings. Make a wish. And fall in love. On a battlefield. In the snow. I don't know. So it's like Mecha Sonic kind of becomes obsolete because everything learned from Mecha Sonic Mark II, Eggman was able to put that tech into Metal Sonic. And that's why you get, like, yeah, Metal Sonic Kai and, like, the Giga Satan form that he has in Chaotix, and, you know, it's just fun to think about. It's just neat. It's much to consider, much to ponder. Mecha Sonic came first, but got shelved in favor of a more refined Metal, basically a fallback. Yeah, there you go. That I like that too, honestly. Yeah, like, I imagine they were designed, like, because the reality is Sonic 2 and Sonic CD had different teams who were basically not in communication at all and were tasked with making a sequel to Sonic 1. And they both just went, well, it makes sense there'd be a robot Sonic, right? And at the same time, funny enough, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, like, and we're talking all these things happen within, like, months of each other with no communication, had the Pseudo-Sonic episode, which also had a robot Sonic doppelganger. And all these basically happened concurrently because, yeah, it just makes sense that that would be a thing that you would want to put in a continuation of Sonic the Hedgehog. And, like, you know, it makes sense. But then when you go, like, okay, in-universe, could this make sense as well as making sense in the real world? And, like, I always think that stuff is interesting to consider. And, of course, now, like, with how a lot of Sonic stuff has been, like, some of this stuff does become canon. Some of it becomes real. Gerald visiting Angel Island is real. And, like, I would argue, and I'm sure many of you would argue, we all knew that was real since Sonic Battle because it straight up said it. But, like, people argued that Sonic Battle wasn't canon for, like, years, you know? And it's like, how is it not canon? It's right there, it happened. Metal Sonic should simply eat Mecha Sonic. You know, I mean, he could. If he absorbed... You know, I mean, we're basically going back into Dragon Ball parallels, right? That would basically be like a perfect Cell situation. Yep, the core of the arc looking like the Master Emerald Shrine. Like, that's the thing, right? Gerald having artificial chaos, having his own version of Supersonic, having an Emerald Altar. You know, it very clearly when they were designing these things and writing Sonic Adventure 2 originally, they had those things in mind. They weren't not... They didn't accidentally make all of those designs, you know? And not realize what they were doing. They absolutely wanted to imply something. It's just, for decades, they never really got to say the quiet part out loud, you know? Yeah, the little Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. The, oh man, the mini arc about the Chaos Emeralds where there was like... What was it? Yeah, there were 4 of them and they were all different shapes. And then, I almost said Eggman. Robotnik, I guess, got them. He became Supreme High Robotnik with weird nipples. He looked like Broly, basically. When do we get a Sonic game that explored the now blown up half of the moon? At least they brought that back, you know? At least they brought that back, because the fucked up moon is so cool. And I love that it looks like the Symphogear moon. Which maybe existed... If you look at the Shadow the Hedgehog concept art that's in Shadow Generations, there is an illustration of the moon with debris circling around it. Which is so crazy to think that for... The Symphogear moon was actually in Sonic before it was in Symphogear. And then they brought it back. It's so fucking cool. My wallpaper is actually still the shot from Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings, where it shows the broken moon with like the arc behind it, because that is such a cool shot. Symphogear mention. Hell yeah! I will always mention Symphogear. You can't stop me. Sonic Adventure 3 with Phonic Gain? Hell yeah. I mean, are you tell me, you listen to Live and Learn, and you tell me Phonic Gain is not real. You tell me that music can't be so hype that it gives you a power-up. I don't think so, man. The song that united the 7 billion voices to kill God, that it was actually Live and Learn the whole time. Symphogear proves that Sonic would be better if the characters were armored lesbians, yeah. Yukine Chris is just Knuckles. Duped by an evil scientist into, you know, using ancient artifacts to power a laser. Short. Purple eyes associated with red. Very tsundere, you know? Can't tell me that she's not Knuckles. If there's 2 things that go together in media, it's tormented, lesbians, and funky broken moon. So I think there's, like, actual reasons for that. Like, I think it is, like, obviously, like, you know, the broken symbolism is pretty obvious, but, like, the moon is very often associated as, like, a feminine symbol of power and things like that, so... Yeah, no, that tracks. That tracks. Theme songs can always build hype, true. Tsubasa's blue like Sonic, Hibiki's yellow just like Tails. Not only that, Tsubasa's got 3 spiky things on her hair. She's fast. She spins around for a lot of her attacks. Hibiki's got fluffy things on the side of her face, you know? She's got a couple little stray strands of hair near the top. She's got two tails, in a sense, because she has the scarf. Think about it. Think about it. Whoa! Did you see the palette there for a second? The palette screwed up. He straight up was black and red. That's crazy. It's crazy. I hope that... I think I'm not capturing at 60, so maybe it didn't catch that frame, but I totally saw it. Giving Hibiki the Die Buster Kamen Rider scarf was such a move. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. Sonic and Simple Gear official crossover when, hey. Yuki Aoi was Maria in the Japanese dub of movie 3. Meaning she's now voiced 3 Sonic characters. She's Styx, she's Movie Maria, and she's Avatar Girl in Forces. Yep. Hey, we're not too far off. That's the thing, as much as Sonic is a shonen, Sonic is such a funny series, dude, because it is like so many different genres of anime, because we've got kaiju, straight up kaiju, like, the Godzilla references are insane. There's so many direct Godzilla references in Sonic. Even Mecha Sonic is a Mecha Godzilla reference, like, straight up. But then there's a ton of, like, Mecha references. The Death Egg robot, again, is just a scope dog. I've talked about that a million times. It's just a recolored scope dog. It's crazy how obvious it is. By the way, we're not going to fight Big Arm here. Too bad. So sad. But you don't fight him in the original. Oh, are we going to get the weird resolution shift that happens sometimes? I don't know. But yeah, with like Frontiers. Oh my god, the Ava references are crazy. Like straight up shots of like it's absurd. Oh, thank you. Let me see this clip. Let me watch this little cutscene first where Tails' tails shrink. I love that. I love the little storytelling vignettes there. I dislike that Sonic 3 Knuckles gets rid of the Heavy Arms boss. Yeah, I understand that it's to maintain a more even difficulty curve and not just have a jump halfway through, but I do miss it. Yeah, there it is. You totally see it. That's crazy, dude. That straight up just looked like Shadow. That's crazy how much that looks like Shadow. I've never seen that particular palette glitch in my life. Insane. The episode of Tokyo Encounters where Alex-chan guest stars. Is that... What show is that? Is that... Let me... Hold on. Yes, okay. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. That is... yeah, okay. I couldn't remember the name of the show, but yes, I saw when she, when she forced them to play Sonic Adventure 2. Oh my god, it was the best. Good for her. Good for her. If I ever make it big, I want to play Sonic Adventure 2 with Yuki Aoi. Mm-hmm. It's true. Gotta make it up the rungs first. I gotta play it with Takako and Booty first. Then Yuki Aoi. That's my list. they're only slightly above. Sorry, slightly below Ibiki herself. God, it was really funny. At one point, when we were at the restaurant, Takako, messaged Uduri and was like, hey, I'm hanging out with Onika eating sushi, and Uduri was like, that's not fair, I want to join, and I was like, hey, she was like, hey, if, you know, Urika ever comes by again, like, you know, would you be alright with that? And I'd be like, yeah, I'd be alright with that. That sounds awesome. And then I stop, I go, would you be alright with that, though? Would you be alright with two people giving non-stop Sonic trivia and having to be with them in public? Oh, my God. By the way, this boss is a chump. Takako, Rurika, Onika, and Yuki Aoi playing Sonic Shuffle. The world would not be ready for that. The world would not be ready. It's hilarious that Aoi Yuki gets to be the protagonist of both Madoka and Symphony. Everyone mostly remembers her as the former, but Hibiki is the polar opposite, and objectively the better. Yeah, I think it is very funny. Because, like, Madoka was... what, 2013, I want to say? Or was it 20... When was... What year was it? They were really close, right? They were within, like, a year of each other. And yeah, like, they're very... Okay, 2011. Okay, right. Sorry, it's because I didn't watch it till 2013. That's why I got confused. Symphogear was July 2011? Okay. Okay, yeah, so I knew they were, like, way close to each other. I couldn't remember the exact dates. But yeah, it's really funny because it's like, man, you want to talk about two very different, both incredible. Both very good, but two very different takes on the magical girl genre. And, you know, two very different takes on what a magical girl protagonist can be. It's hard for me to watch Madoka now, though, because the sad Yuki Aoi noises, like, it sounds like when Hibiki is sad, and it makes me sad. Rebellion came out in 2013, so I don't blame you for making that mistake. No, I think I'm just dumb, and I'm remembering when I watched it, rather than when it came out. Oh yeah, by the way, you go in there, you deposit all your emeralds, and you can do the other bonus stages. I don't want to go in there. We're going to be avoiding these. Don't get me wrong, I respect that Madoka is good, but I don't like it, but I don't deny its quality. Symphogear is everything Madoka isn't in a good way. So I do like both. I do. I legitimately think both are really good. But you notice I talk more about Symphogear than I do Madoka, so if we're asking which I personally prefer, I mean, you know. I think they're both... Look at this 3D effect on that. I hope you saw it, because we're not going to see any more. I do need to watch the Madoka movies, though, because I haven't really seen any of them. And everyone's like, oh my god, they're so good. And I'm like, well... Someone watch them with me. Ooh, Okay. Dude, I can't listen to Bad Romance anymore. Not that I'm like a big Lady Gaga listen-to-er, but I can't think of Bad Romance anymore without thinking of the mashup of Flying Battery Zone and Bad Romance. That shit slaps. Yeah, okay, we're all thinking of different mashups. Yeah. Huh? Whoa. Am I gonna play that on stream anytime? Wait, what's that? Wait. Whoa. I was looking at the chat and I didn't... Am I gonna play what on stream? Hatsune Miku Sonic Mania Extended. I am aware of that. That was Tracker who made that, right? If I watch the Madoka films, I'm probably not gonna like the ending to Rebellion. That's fine. There were a lot of things in the Madoka anime where, I kind of, you know, had to take a depression shower afterwards, you know. Which, very funny. So here's how... So this was way before I watched Symphogear. But the way I watched Madoka, I watched it with a friend. And her and I watched, like, a couple episodes a day for, like, a week or so. And we were like, oh my god, that was really good, but it was so sad. And then immediately, as a palate cleanser, we watched Heart Catch Pretty Cure. And you know what? I feel like that's the way to do it. I feel like if you're gonna watch some Madoka stuff, you need a palate cleanser, Magical Girl series. Yeah, the Dominoes one. Dominoes. Yeah. Oh, I remember that. You know what trips me up is that these don't magnetize the electric shield in Sonic 3 Knuckles, and I always think they're gonna magnetize electricity. Looks sweet. I really love, speaking of just like the weird, you know, things that, because I'd say this goes hand in hand, right? With people being like, pretty sure Gerald based Shadow's form off of Supersonic and saw the murals and all that stuff. And then it's like, yeah, no, that's basically canon at this point. Like, yeah. Oh, right. You know what? Yeah, let's cancel that super form, actually. Get another shield. Why not? Okay, there we go. Yeah, look. So I just cheesed that little area? Not exactly a speedrun strat, but a very funny strat. Oh, shoot. Right. what was I gonna... Look, if you can push this. Wait, I don't want to push that, because there's like a secret zone down there. But you can push that, and there's like a secret ring, but not Sonic in the secret rings. Hey, what the hell was I talking about? Something about Madoka and magical girls, and... You know what? Domino's, home of the pizza. Oh, right. I feel like Hatsune Miku being in Sonic games was another one of those things that, like, Sonic enjoyers kind of creatively gaslit Sega into doing. Because it was like, hey, look at that. Yamaha. Oh, Sega owns Yamaha. Oh, they own Hatsune Miku. Oh, let's do all this, like, goofy stuff. And then slowly but surely, like, anytime there was like, oh, here's, like, a Sonic outfit for Miku, and, like, here's a little cover she does of something, people went, like, way into it. They were like, yeah, more of that. And then, like, here we are now with officially Hatsune Miku as a DLC character for a Sonic game. That rules. People call Madoka deep and cerebral, but in fairness, Symphogear just slaps you with the Bible and then goes, have you actually read the gay science? Again, like, I really like Madoka, but, and I definitely got way into it as I was watching it, but... Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think I've said before, you know, my tastes are, a lot of times I'll get stuff and I'll appreciate it for what it is, but I'm like, what is like the meme, what is like the like, I like this, but this, I love this. You know, like that. That's me with a lot of, you know, a lot of people will, you know, for example, say, oh, you know, Ava, right? Oh, that's the best mecha anime there is. And I'm like, well, I think it's a very good anime. I think it's very iconic. Whoa! Okay. I don't necessarily have anything bad to say about it. But it's not Gal Gaigar. So it can't be the best mecha anime if it's not King of Braves Gal Gaigar. You know what I mean? Oh, look at those broken tiles there. Oh my god, I hope someone got fired for that blunder. Alright, let me... God damn it. Well... Oh yeah, check this out also, some environmental storytelling. I always loved the capsules in the background, not only because it ties into the Gapsule boss that we fought, but it's like, oh shoot, this is where he's doing this. And then of course you see them here, and it's like, oh no, they've already been turned into robots. This is like, you know, a mobile, like, you know, assembly line, almost, for, creating his little badniks here. And I don't know, I kind of like it. Also, this is a friendly spider. Local squid goes round and round. No, local squid goes up and down and all around. Up and down all around. That's save that for when I play Sonic Adventure. Ava has that. Ooh, hold on. Unfortunate thing, chuds who don't watch anime make extremely wrong takes. Yeah, because they subverts the viewer's assumptions about characters for narrative drama. Yeah, it's meta-contextual. Yeah, people like, again, no, Ava's absolutely like a send-off to all of the, like, tokusatsu and mecha things that, you know, that they absolutely loved. Like, it's not meant to be a harsh, scathing critique. It's a weird, twisted love letter by a very depressed man. But you know, all that to say, yeah, I do tend to like stuff that's like profoundly rad over stuff that's profoundly sad. I'll admit it. Oh no, look, it's like exactly the same boss from Wing Fortress Zone. But no matter how many times I hit it, which has definitely been more than 8, which is the standard, I can't possibly win. And then, you know, normally I can't even hit it at all. Oh my god, what an impossible scenario. It's closing in and I'm getting so scared. Look, see, this is subverting your expectations of how a Sonic boss goes. But if you notice also, it doesn't stop at the bottom of the screen. It's slowly but surely exploding the ship because Eggman's reached his point of desperation. And oh no! Now he's got to escape and, like, we got to escape too. And this isn't a platform going up here, this rafter. No, everything else is falling down because this idiot blew up his own ship because he wanted to kill us real bad. Yeah, 4 rings is fine. Well, yeah, 11 rings is fine. 11 rings in hand! That's not the song. It's a deconstruction because it's depressing. Have you seen Getter? Yeah. Have you seen Ideon? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, when the last couple episodes where it goes into the weird shit, which is, like, apparently had a lot to do with, again, like, severe depression and severe lack of budget. So it's, like, a very fascinating anime in, you know, like, a time capsule sense. It's like I actually have nothing bad to say about Ava at all. At all. Like, as a piece of media, as an anime, I can't bring myself to say anything bad about it. But also, it's not Galgaigar, so it can't be the best. By the way, Sandopolis Zone. Whole city of sand. Thanks, Tails. G-Kids did a re-release of Shin Godzilla last year, remastered in 4K. I'm gonna release Godzilla -1 this year. I really need to get into some Godzilla more. I have tangential knowledge, you know, but I'm not like an expert. And several people I know and look up to are, and I feel like I'm failing them. Hate these scorpions? What do they ever do to you, huh? They're pretty annoying. Again, oh, Jesus. They're like man, this game visually really is such a Sega Genesis game. Like, look at that beautiful color palette gradation in the background. And, like, even the fact that, like, those scorpions have, like, the multiple little, like, spheres there. Like, they don't have much in terms of animation. Their claws, like, inch as they inch. Like, their sprite is made out of a bunch of little moving parts. Oh, it's so Genesis. I love it. Or Mega Drive, if you prefer. At some point, I'm going to make a Mega Drive accurate squid animation for when I play these games. But for now, I just, you know, this is just a spur-of-the-moment thing I wanted to do today. But not like the spur barb at the end of that thing. What is with this guy also? What's his story? This song also goddamn rules. I hated this stage so much as a kid that I didn't appreciate how much this song fucking rules until I was like in my early 20s. And I played this again, and I was like, yo, was this song always so good? So, Sonic Origins famously replaces, you know, the tracks that were a collaboration between Sega and Michael Jackson's sound team, which is a shame. This looks like a stupid face with a nose. And it is a shame, because I think the tracks that got replaced just aren't as good as the ones you've been hearing here. But honestly, I think the and Knuckles portion of Sonic 3 and Knuckles soundtrack is better than the Sonic 3 portion. Like, yeah, it sucks we lose Ice Cap Zone and Carnival Night and Launch Base, but like, let's be real. Flying Battery and Sandopolis are so good. Lava Reef is so good. Death Egg Zone, like, Sky Sanctuary is, of course, like the entire, everything in this half of the game is so good. The two different final boss themes are so good. Which I know, like, you know, the Big Arm final boss theme was in the Sonic 3 half. But still. The stage is awesome, the boss is pathetic, yeah. So apparently the boss of this level is not a robot. It's not a creation of Eggman. It is just a being that was here. Which I think is so funny. I love pieces of media that, again, like, Symphogear fits into this, where it's like, did you know that according to Symphogear, like, every theology and myth and legend and cryptid is real? And, like, Sonic is weirdly kind of similar, because there's a ton of... There's so many, like, ancient deities and weird anomalies like this in Sonic games, and they don't make a big deal about it. Like, he's just the ancient guardian... like, ancient, like, Echidna tech, I guess? Sand creature? That just, like, guards this place, that raised out of the sand, by the way? This isn't something Eggman did. This was just here. The Egg Golem in Sonic Adventure 2... is actually pretty similar. It was a monster that Eggman built a control mechanism into. And I always think that the desert in... I think half of Sonic Adventure 2 takes place on Angel Island, and they just don't mention it. But if not, then it's definitely, like, a place that is very similar to... Like maybe it's a place where, like, echidnas were still, like, on the surface, surviving for a while. Because those are straight-up echidna ruins that look exactly like this shit. You cannot deny Tulpa Kirinka theory. Every cryptid is real. Yep. It's true. Godzilla is real, yeah. Godzilla is real. That's the connective tissue. Sonic met Godzilla, and so did the Symphogear cast. That's how we make it work. Okay, then. Shared universe, let's go. Oh no, we released the real ghosts that were here that Eggman captured for some reason. This part is why I hated this stage so much as a little larval squid. Because I didn't understand the simple concept of... just go over here. And I wrote that down forever. And it's true, XDU does establish that Symphogear is a multiverse where anything can happen. It's crazy, mixed up place where anything can happen. That's a Pee-wee's Playhouse reference for you. I can make that because I'm old. Remember when Supersonic defeated Darkseid? Remember how Darkseid wanted the Chaos Emeralds? But he saw the Infinity Stones and was like, I can't do anything with these are worthless. And people will tell you, no, guys, you misunderstand. The reason he didn't want the Infinity Stones is because it's established that the Infinity Stones only work in their universe. That's been a thing in Marvel lore for a while. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure, but that just means that the Chaos Emeralds work in any universe, so they're still canonically better than the Infinity Stones. Checkmate. Chaos Emeralds stronger than Infinity Stones. Like, I don't see, like, what the math. Like, you know, it just adds up, you know? Would you rather have $1 or $2? Oh no, the ghosts are horny! Jeez, what are you gonna do with 3 horny ghosts? Well, I think of a couple things, but, probably nothing that we're gonna do here. You know, let's make sure we just keep the lights on. Oh, thanks. Getting to run empty there. Get a little low on juice. Chaos Emeralds are just a power source. Yeah, an infinite power source, though. That work anywhere. Which is crazy. Rising Sand, Time Switches, Ghost. They crammed as much stressful stuff as they could into this act. And infinite vertical scrolling, too. Yeah, they really just did all kinds of stuff here. One thing I do love about this act is it's the same foreground. Oh yeah, that's a Knuckles path. Like, all of the level stuff is the same as outside, but the background is, you know, inside. And just through having a different background layer and, like, the darkness palette changing gimmick, it looks completely different from outside. Like, this doesn't look like they just took the outside tiles and put them inside. It looks like, oh, yeah, no, we're inside of the pyramid. I think that rules. Oh, nope, don't want to go in there. Do want to get that, though. Can we get some power-ups? We can get some rings! Can we get some, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes? As they say, I actually do need a new pair of shoes. And I do not have the money. I need more running sneakers, which is very similar to Sonic. I imagine that's what he uses all of his money on. You know, they aren't actually meant to be sneakers. They kind of morphed into... God damn it. Oh well! Squid is a father confirmed. I am not a father. I've never even smooched a lady. Or a man. Or a non-gender binary conforming attractive person that I thought looked pretty smoochable. My beak? I have got a virgin beak. The hell is he saying? Hey, I have to pee. Here, enjoy this music while Tails has a panic attack. Oh yeah, no, I bungled that boss. It's fine. And that was kind of embarrassing. I've been watching the stream. You're better at this game than that. Listen, don't worry about it. It happens sometimes. We just let it happen, okay? Oh. Oh, I love this music. It's really weird. Like, I'm pretty confident at my ability to play particularly this Sonic game, but just Sonic games in general, I'm half decent at. For some reason, there's just a couple things that I can't do. I don't know why that is. Check it out! There's the death egg. Do you see it? Bottom of the screen there. Look at that. Isn't that cool? We're gonna get closer and closer to it. Now kids, go onto YouTube and type Beneath the Ashes into search bar. Enjoy this zone's theme. Do I know that one? Is that a remix? Probably listen to it. Look at that little hermit crab rock. He has a panic attack and explodes. Honestly, the most relatable critter in the entire franchise. Yeah, sure, let's go in here. These are different spheres. This is the DNA strand spheres. They're not blue spheres. Oh, shoot. I don't want you. I want you? No, I don't want the... Okay. I don't want the bubble barrier. Okay, it's the Project Chaos one. I thought so. What would Mario cross over with since Sonic crossed over with DC? I don't know. I really want to like the Mario universe a little more. Because, yeah, okay, I love Paper Mario. Everyone loves Paper Mario. So much potential to it, but it's like, yeah, what little creatures would work? And really, I don't think DC has any... I don't know why that existed, but it was pretty cool, so, you know. You're not who I'm looking for. Oh, God, what did I say? I said something terrible. That's what I said. Okay, alright. So, when Takako and I finished up eating, we were going back to our car. I don't even remember what happened. She was making so much fun of me. Oh my god. So then there was, like, some comment about... Jesus Christ, I died. Some comment about leaving me there, and she goes, oh yeah, it's a one-way trip, didn't you know? And then I go, it's a one-way track, tell me how long this will last. And I go, see, that's a Sonic Adventure reference. And, yeah. I was proud of myself for that one. Because because I kept saying stupid shit like there was eel. There was eel sushi. And one of us pointed it out, and I was like, oh, eel. Can the eel come out to play? See, that's a Mario 64 reference. I kept doing that. Like, I kept saying a thing and then going, see, that's a what, like, just to be an annoying asshole. Like, I tend to... That's how I get along with people, is I try to annoy them, and then they make fun of me, and it's, you know, a mutual understanding. But I was pretty proud of that one. Can't hold on much longer, but I'll never let go. I think I said that, too. I think I said... Yes, I think I said... She said it's a one-way trip, and then I was like, it's a one-way track. Tell me how long this'll last. Can't hold on much longer, but, like, yeah, I did, like, half of the... I started just, like, saying half of the song, and then I was like, see, that's a Sonic Adventure reference. She was like, you gotta stop. Another point, I said something about, oh, yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, like, you know... We'll have to do this again. And I said, next time, I'll take you to Lidl. We'll have a real good time. She was like, you gotta stop it. You gotta stop with the Lidl. And I was like, what? They're, you know, they got low prices and a wide selection. They got 49-cent croissants. And she's like, the whole time, like, stop it. You need to shut the hell up. And then she's like, wait, 49-cent croissants? Maybe we do have to go. It's like, see, I told you. Everyone, like, they doubt Lidl until they see the 49-cent croissants. And they're like, oh, shit. Oh my god, she's legitimately so goddamn funny. I wish I could remember... It was like 2 hours of non-stop bits. That's the thing, too, with me, is, like, I've said this before, but, like... I feel so bad that, like, I'll, you know, because I'm in the maid chord, and, like, I have my own Discord and things like that, and I'll, like, try to talk in peeps chats. I'm so much better in person than I am in text. I am so much better interacting with people in person. Like, my you know, and it depends on the person. Like, Takako's always... quick wit, no matter what the format, but Jesus Christ, oh my god, life sounds like an Azumanga Daioh episode. No, for real, it was so funny. It was like, every single thing was like a joke or a reference, and there was not like a microsecond of silence. Still need to finish the Azumanga Daioh anime. I know it got a Puzzle Bobble game. I think I remember that game. I remember seeing it way back. But yeah, Azumanga Daioh's a classic. God, oh, sorry, I just remembered when we got the check, like, because they charge by the plate. It's a really cool place. Again, aside from the drink robots. But, you know, we ended up, like, paying for our own meals. And yeah, the conveyor sushi place, Kura, is what it's called. But they brought us the check, and they gave us, like, the shittiest pen ever. So she's trying to, like, write down the amount. And she goes, she does that. She goes, ooh, you wanna ink so bad. Like, she said something like that. And then I was, like, about to say something, but I stopped. And I wish I could remember what she said. But I was like, see, I was gonna make that joke, but it's so inappropriate. It was literally, like, every second was, like, non-stop jokes. It was so funny. Still have the joke I made on the Discord server commentating how Yukari tries like she's in Crazy Taxi. Someone actually made an edit of the Crazy Taxi cover art. That's awesome! I didn't see that. You want to spread ink so much? Yeah, it was something like that, and I was like... I was gonna say something, and I'm like, there's no way I can make this joke without it sounding, like, without crossing some kind of a line. And of course, Takako being Takako just goes for it. And then I'm the one sitting there being uncomfortable. Oh god, it's just so, I really do gotta make more time to, like, meet up with people in person. Also, Crazy Taxi. Anytime I think of Crazy Taxi now, I'm just gonna think of Rurika playing it with the Dreamcast fishing rod, and actually being better at it. Oh, don't go in there, there's a special stage. Ink me, baby, one more time. Jesus Christ. It was so funny, too, because, like, I'm such a loser. Because the first thing I asked, I was like, okay, what do we do? Do we use code names? Do we, like, you know... Like, how do we go about this? And then, meanwhile, it was, like, non-stop, like, squid jokes at my expense. And I'm like, okay, alright. Here I am, you know. Showing some concern. And it's like, eat the squid, do the cannibalism. I hate that sound is used for this. Because it's like such a cool build-up that we'll hear later on for like the Master Emerald laser thing. And the payoff of it is so good. It's like a Genesis sound chip crunching like wow kind of thing. And then that's just like bloop. Here I am. Oh god, what is the Aqua Teen Hunger Force bit? Where they're like, we're going to call roll, and anyone present say here, and we'll assume it to be short for here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Aqua Teen Hunger Force also takes place in New Jersey. Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Because I am 30 or 40 years old and I do not need this. Look! Look! Look, it's the Death Egg. I told you we'd get closer as the act progresses. Well, technically we're in Act 2 now, but you get what I'm saying. It's cool! It's subtle storytelling! It's environmental storytelling! Also, for some reason, him doing this throws us closer to the Death Egg? And this scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Look how demonic Eggman looks in the background there. And then this whole act playing the boss music, I thought this was hell. I thought this was Sonic Goes to Hell. It's so good though. Like, oh my god, this like is legitimately such cool imagery. This game rules, man. And like, that's the thing, right? Sonic was never super dark. But it wasn't like, it's why I have like a... Sonic was never super comedic either, you know? Like, it's a goofy adventure series, but like, it doesn't... It's not afraid to just have some imagery there that's a little terrifying for the childers. Anyway, we got this flame barrier, so... Whoops! Well, never mind. We'll just make it a different pointless encounter. I was gonna say, with the flame barrier, the encounter becomes pointless, but, yeah. I do love how this thing is drawn, though. Like, with all the little dots and, like, the chrome effect. It looks super rad. It's such a good sprite. Yes, Megas XLR is also in Jersey. It is a very relatable anime-esque piece of media. Because I, too, live in New Jersey. And I like giant robots. Well, that was a little mean. The music was still playing. Weird. Hello, that's me. I am Onika. I am a squid. Please don't squeeze me and make me expel ink, and please also don't make me eat squid. It's not very good. I gotta be honest, I want to talk to someone who really likes eating squid and just ask why. Like, what part of that experience is, like, you know... I'm like, there's so many other things you could eat. Yes, you're gonna make me eat scorpion. Please don't. I always used to... those and the ones with the worms in them... I'm like, ew! Like, but what's the point? Like, what is the point of eating a scorpion? Oh, Oni-ika. Curse... Yeah, so, hey. Did you notice when I start my stream, I say, hey, calamaris. It's the Super Squid Bro Super Show. I'm your Squid Bro, Onika. Onika is a portmanteau of Oni or Oni-chan or Oni-san or whatever variation. It's Oni and Ika. Yep. Ow! You son of a bitch. Hey, speaking of, like, Cartoon Network, it's an episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast where they play this stage. I'm sick as in, yo, you're so sick, or like, yo, I'm so sick. Like, yo, I'm so sick, or like, yo, I'm so sick. Hopefully the first one, not the, oh, you have a cold? I am sorry to hear that. Be sure to, stay hydrated really is, like, the only thing you can do, right? Like, because, like, vitamin C doesn't actually help with a cold. Like, vitamin C can boost your immune system to prevent colds, but, you know. Eat some soup, bundle up, and, you know, just do all that stuff. Because I think that's the only thing that actually helps get over a cold. Anyway, Knuckles has been betrayed! Oh no, now he's gonna help us save the day! By showing us a secret passage in an ancient teleporter to the Sky Sanctuary. My brother drinks all the orange juice the second we buy any. I mean, orange juice is pretty good. Look at this! This looks so cool. It's such a big sprite. And, like, watch the clouds kind of like, ooh, that's so awesome. Oh, yeah, and because I am playing on a totally legit Sega Genesis, look at the translucent effect of the clouds that you only get by playing this on a real CRT or however I'm playing it. Yeah, all you can do with a cold is treat the symptoms and wait, pretty much. Every time I have a cold, I drink a whole bunch of yellow Gatorade and, like, eat chicken soup. Or, like, I overcook, like, a pack of instant noodles. So the noodles get really squishy, squimshy, and it has to be the chicken flavor instant noodles. And it psychologically makes me feel better. So then I feel like I heal faster because of that. Okay, the Simple Gear manga was December 2011. I was going to say, I thought the anime was 2012. Oh my god, it's this setup again! What a familiar thing! It's Dr. Face for a robot, but he's got a different face for a robot. What's up with that? What's his story? I've never had gumbo, but I feel like gumbo is one of those things I would enjoy. As someone who really likes curry and chili, I know gumbo's not like the same thing, but it's like conceptually, you know, it's a big spiced pot of stuff, and I really like foods that are a big spiced pot of stuff that's like a reddish brownish color. You know what I mean? There's just types of foods that fit into like similar categories like that. I'm not a picky eater, though. I mentioned that when we were talking about, you know, in the future at some point, like, if Rudy ever comes down and the three of us get together to be the three most annoying people in the universe. I know Rudy's like a picky eater, and like that, I wish I could remember exactly what was said, but at some point that got mentioned. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll eat just about anything. By the way, look at these cuties. Stupid little inflatable Mechasonic in a little thing. It's so dumb. Also, look, he still does the last-ditch laser. Yeah, like, I'm not a picky eater. I've heard that she is, though, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be... Well, we gotta do something with that. And I said I'll eat just about anything. And Takako's like, you've never had natto, though. And I'm like, I haven't, but I really want to have some. She's like, oh, it's so disgusting. And I'm like, yeah, I know, that's what everyone says. Everyone says natto's so gross. And every time I hear that natto is really gross, it makes me want to have it more. Because I'm a sick freak. So, like, honestly, most foods I think are pretty good. But, like, remember, I liked Pegnog, you know? I liked Pilk. Not a lot of food. Even the squid, I think flavor-wise was good. I think squid is just pointless to eat because it's so chewy. It's just like, it's slimy and rubbery, and it doesn't feel good in the mouth, but the taste is alright. It's pointless, right? Food being pointless is different from food being gross. There was something else I had where, like, I said, oh, I made shrimp tacos once. I bungled that whole setup, by the way. I made shrimp tacos a variety of times, but what the hell? Okay. One time I made shrimp tacos, and, like, with fried shrimp, it's really easy to leave the tail off, right? Because it just crisps up. It just turns into texture. Why is this setup breaking so much? I love this fountain, by the way. It's so cool. But yeah, I was like, I made the shrimp tacos, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna try eating the, like, with non-fried, non-breaded shrimps. Just regular shrimps taco. And I went, I'm gonna try eating the tail. Because that's what they say, right? You just eat the tail. And I ate the tail, and I was like, you know, something that wasn't bad, but it was pointless. It just took too long to chew, and it wasn't really, like, extra, like, it just tasted like nothing. It was like chewing on plastic. And I'm like, why do people make such a big deal about, like, oh, you gotta eat the tail? It was just pointless. Anything so you'll eat the scorpion? No. No, because scorpion is probably exactly like eating shrimp tail. Like, 1-to-1, because shrimps is just wet bugs. It's gotta be like eating a shrimp with, like a very scrawny, almost meatless shrimp with all of the legs and stuff still attached. And that just doesn't sound like a good time to me, you know? Save the weird animation glitch for posterity. Thank you, I appreciate it. I eat shrimp shell and all. Yeah, a lot, like, people will do that. It'll make, oh my god, it's the Death Star Corps. We'll fight Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, people just, like, make a big deal out of it. It's really not that bad. I just don't really understand why. It's, like, not pleasant, you know? If it had, and maybe this is the reason, I don't know. If it had, like, some sort of really strong nutritional value, like, if it was like, oh yeah, no, if you eat, like, 7 shrimps, legs and all, head and all, you know, it just burns, like, 20 pounds of fat immediately and lets you go Super Saiyan 4. Then hell yeah, I would be eating shrimps, heads, and all, like, all day, brother. But as far as I know, it doesn't really have much of a nutritional benefit. Again, could be wrong, but I don't know. Some people like the texture, yeah. The head does actually have a lot of flavor. Okay. Again, like, if it's in a proper, because I know, like, don't a lot of gumbos actually have, like, yeah, like a whole shrimp thrown in there? And, like, if that's, like, the way you eat it, that's fair. But, like, you know, there's a lot of, I don't know, I feel like people will be like, oh, let's do the worst version of this. Oh, let's eat bugs. Okay, are you gonna eat, like, a type of meal that's a bug? No. Here's just, like, a spider. Here's, like, a freeze-dried spider you can buy on Amazon. I opened up the pack and ate it. Doesn't even have any, like, fucking pepper or Cajun spice or anything on it. It's just a spider. And I'm like, what is the point? Okay, when you make shrimp stock, you use primarily just the head. By the way, look! The electric shield on this electric thing. We're immune to it. Isn't that cool? We're at the end game. Hopefully Sega doesn't do an episodic set of games as a numbered entry and becomes divisive for years and then gets forgotten about. Yeah. The worst thing about Sonic 4 is that Sonic 4 isn't even that bad of a game. Oh, hey, look at this joke. There's 6 of these little buttons here. I gotta hit it and make them red. They start yellow. See, I've hit 2. Can you keep track of it when it's moving? I can't. I can't tell what... Look, do you know what's going on here? I don't. I don't know why they designed the puzzle like that. Whitest, most middle class of middle-class white people eating weird, gross stuff just for attention. Yeah! Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, where I'm like, dude, like, okay. Like sushi, right? Sushi, nowadays, most people consider sushi to be good. But there was definitely, you know, there's even still some people that are like, ew, that's weird. And it's like, it's not. It's actually really good. Again, not the biggest fan of the shrimps. But for the most part, really, not the shrimp. I love the shrimps. What am I talking about? The squids. Not a biggest fan of the squids. Oh my god, it's Red Eye! He's like the weird gravity core center of the Death Egg. For some reason, every time you see one of these, there's a gravity gimmick included. Again, really gigantic, really cool sprite with all these cool Sega Genesis effects. We don't really care, though. Look how nice, like, the brushed chrome looks, though. Oh my god, it's so cool. This part's really tricky. This boss is totally free in Sonic Origins versus Sonic 3 and Knuckles, though. Because when he does that ball thing, it only goes to the edge of the screen of this screen, but that game's in widescreen, so there's a safe zone. Right, anyway. For dry eyes, try new clear eyes. Yeah, Sonic 4 is like, the worst thing about Sonic 4 is just that it started development as Sonic DL, as in Sonic Download, and it was just Dimps making a portable Sonic game, and the decision to name it Sonic 4 was fucking terrible. They shouldn't have done that. Like, it just, I feel like if it was just called Sonic DL and was allowed to be Sonic DL... Oh my god. What is that? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so old. Whoa, oh my god. Someone sent me a message and then sent me like... Oh, someone asked me a commission in like 2019 and then they asked me for a commission now and I never like fully... Oh, geez. Well, they don't seem to mind, so that's nice. They're not like, hey... I basically never got back to them. And then they... Okay, well... I'll have to actually get back to them this time. Oh god, I feel so bad. We love Twitter. Totally not a broken platform, yeah? Oh, speaking of broken platforms, that reminds me. I think Blue Sky, I got some DMs at some point, too. Blue Sky just doesn't tell you when you get a DM? Anyway. What? Alright, sure. Not sure if I can make it with my 24 lives. Oh, man. But yeah, I really do think, like, if Sonic 4 wasn't called Sonic 4, it wouldn't get the hate that it gets. And, I know the soundtrack isn't very well liked. The compositions in Sonic 4 are actually pretty good. It's just, man... Sonoe doesn't know how to use the right synths to get that sound. I think Splash Hill actually has a very, very lovely composition. But, like, you'll never know that if you play Sonic 4. You gotta listen to, like, the covers and remixes of it that were made after the fact that used, like, real instruments. Or better synths. Oh, you son of a bitch. That's fine. Oh, I hate this part. Yeah, Twitter, absolutely half-baked. You know, I really would like to have Supersonic by the end of this, but considering I'm running into everything with a face and even like a fraction of a face, because that guy only had one eyeball, don't know if that's gonna happen. Look at that, that's so scary. Also, check it out. It's the capital E Earth down there. I guess that's just clouds we're seeing rather than continents. But it's still Earth. Mobius was never real. That might be Spagonia or something. I don't know. Maybe it is like a polar area. Maybe that's... Who knows? I'm just being a dicklord. The funniest thing about Mobius is not only was it never real, but then, like, pretty early on in, like, the Archie run... Oh, let's go, baby! Big wins! Alright, sweet. Yeah, they revealed that Mobius was just, like, an alternate name for Earth anyway. It's just, like, what they called Earth, but it was always Earth. Alright, sweet. Now we're gonna destroy everything in the world. And everything in the Death Egg. Yeah, who needs Vegas when you got Sonic the Needle Mouse? I don't know if I've ever explained Needle Mouse. I'm sure most people here probably know it, but it comes from Naoto Oshima writing Mr. Harinezumi on one of the earliest design sketches of Sonic. And then someone, like, translated that and didn't realize that the Japanese word for hedgehog is Harinezumi. So they took it literal and said that it said Mr. Needle Mouse. And hey, look, that kind of was connected to Sonic 4 because of that ad campaign that was going on for a while there. Also, we can just totally skip all this, and we technically have an electric shield. Alright, this is going to be difficult. Oh. It's going to be difficult because I forget how it works. That's what's going to make it difficult, is that I don't remember how it actually works, you see. It's a weird boss. I do like that it's kind of like a mini Death Egg. I think it's very funny that it's kind of a mini Death Egg. Yeah, I have to hit him with the spiked sides. That's right. And, like... You can do, like, you can... It's weird, dude. Honestly, I've never fought it with any, like, semblance of brain cells in my life. Oh, I guess you don't have to use the spike sides. There we go. Oh, sweet! And we got our shield and 51 rings. Okay, okay, this should be fine. Translated in air quotes, yeah. More like a rough guest. Oh yeah, Sonic 4 is, like, definitely a thing that happened, but, Oh yeah, right, how do we... Oh, this song's so good. Oops. Tails? Okay. This song is really good, but now it's time for my theme. Let him close it up. Oh my god! I don't remember how many hits this thing takes. Okay! Alright! Now we gotta do this part, but make sure you stay under him. Stay under him. Don't jump at him unless you're... God, I don't like how this stupid screen ratchets. It's so nerve-wracking, man. Oh, thanks, Tails. Oh, God. Ah, see, look, it almost tried to get me off dance there. No, we still get Doomsday. You only need the regular 7 emeralds. The only difference is now we're, regular supersonic. I love this stage so much. I love that they kind of remade it in Sonic Unleashed, and I love that they definitely remade this fight with, Wyvern in Frontiers. Yep, you only need the, 7 Chaos Emeralds. So when I say that I don't think it's worth it to get the Super Emeralds, like, I legitimately just don't think it is worth it. I don't think I think the difficulty to prize ratio is not in your favor. I think those last 7 stages, well, really it's just the last 2 stages, are so hard. Oh, sweet, leaving an extra life. Compared to what Hypersonic is as a prize, that I'm like, yeah, it's just not worth it. It's a challenge mode, right? It's something you do. It's something you do because you want to show, like, your skill, you know? Yeah, a lot of people think you need, it's like, it's not quite like misinformation, but it's like it's a very common misconception. Also, this sprite rules. Like, I love this design of, like, this booster pack. And just the way it's drawn looks so good. I don't think these old sprites get enough attention for how cool they look. So let's just appreciate this for a second. It looks awesome. It's like when I see something like this, it makes me think about like a Metal Overlord aesthetically, and I go, you know, maybe Metal Overlord isn't as much of a departure as I would have thought. Also, look at this explosion! It's so cool! But I could totally see, like, Metal Overlord's design drawn in that style being, like, a final boss in a Mega Drive game, and it would totally work. Also, look at this! It's like a new Death Egg robot. If you tap buttons, you can boost forward. And if you hold back, you can get rings, like if you just kind of hang back a little bit. This part's really difficult, though. Oh, there we go. I say really difficult. It's not that difficult, but it's... Oh, there we go. We did it! Right, because casually you might have the regular emerald, but lose them, yeah, following Knuckles in the Mushroom Hill cutscene, yeah. Yeah, no, I specifically avoid going into the... Also, good thing Tails installed that at the back of the tornado. Yeah, I just kind of avoid entirely going into any special zones during the and Knuckles portion. Because you even get, like, the good ending and everything. Like, there's no real... Again, unless you want a self-imposed challenge. Which is totally fair. But it's like, yeah, it's way easier to just do the 7 emeralds regular. Yep, this is what leads into Sonic Mania. Or maybe Generations? I don't know. Split timeline that reconverges, and every time you just vaguely... Listen, don't worry about it too much. Oh yeah, Echo the Dolphin! Yep. Dude, okay, the rocket boosters are so cool. I loved that so much back in the day playing Sonic 2, where it's like he gets shot down at the beginning of Wing Fortress and then shows up at the end with the rocket boosters as like a little bit of storytelling of like, oh yeah, he did it. Or sorry, you just jump onto the ship at the end. I didn't mean at the end of Wing Fortress. I meant at the end of the game when you're falling back into the atmosphere. Tails goes up with his boosters to get you, and then he just has them at the start of this game. It's so cool. It's so cool. Is the lore actually that the Phantom Ruby is just in Angel Island this whole time? Great question. So the problem is Sonic Forces is weird and seems to imply that the Phantom Ruby is something that Eggman created, or he at least created the weird prototypes. It's not really addressed in any meaningful way. I imagine that given all of the time travel in Sonic, that like certain things happen and unhappen frequently. So like, maybe as a contingency, Eggman sent the Phantom Ruby he had made back to Angel Island, knowing that it might have been useful. Or maybe it just ended up there with how many times we mess with space-time, because like, again, now like Sonic 06, we know it never happened. The characters don't remember it because it wrote itself out of existence, so it's like, oh my god, I don't know, man. It's confusing. As much as I love the Sonic lore, there is a lot of stuff that they shrimply didn't think about and didn't really consider. Look at all the different values of blue on the screen also. That is why Sonic is blue. It's because, my god, the Genesis can render so many blues out. And that doesn't sound like anything special nowadays, but at the time, oh brother, let me tell you, that was so cool. Presented by Sega! And we get this special art. Hell yeah! You give us the thumbs up, weird, dark-eyed Supersonic, even though you have green eyes in your sprite in the actual game. Okay, bye. Oh no, but what's this? Rising from the ashes! It's the final Egg Robo! And he's, gonna just do his best Nemesis impersonation and follow Knuckles around. Which, like, there's a theory now that says, that Sonic Triple Trouble happens between Sonic's Sonic 3 and Knuckles' Sonic 3. I think that's neat. That's an interesting way to think about it. Gotta beat the game again as Knuckles. We will, don't you worry. We're not gonna do that now, though. But I do love that, yeah, either way, Knuckles, Knuckles has, this game is its own sequel. You beat it as Sonic, and then you can go and play it as Knuckles. Now we're going to do the full, also we get stage select now, isn't that cool? And then if you go over it, oh, look at that Vegeta face. No, Sonic, you're supposed to be pointing at yourself with the thumb, though, not behind you. He doesn't quite understand it. He's still just a little guy. Whoops, I pressed the B button. This is on hardware, right? It's on a form of hardware. It's not on original hardware, unfortunately. I wish it was, but I don't have, yeah. Trying to make it look a little bit like it's running on actual hardware. Because I think, okay, I gotta say it. Hold on. I think this looks disgusting. I think this looks absolutely atrocious. I know this is the raw data, the raw graphics, This is not what you're supposed to be seeing. This, wait, that was the one I had it on, right? Yeah. This is a lot closer to what you should and would have seen back in the day. And there's just a lot of stuff, again, like the Clouds and Sky Sanctuary, that completely break without some sort of filter. That just blurs the shit out of everything. So yeah, I like to play old games like this. Because I can't deal, yeah. CRT targeted pixel art is just pure magic to me. Yeah, absolutely. I actually, hold on, I want to real quick do something. Let's see. I want to grab, oh, we'll grab the Wacky Mole version. Here we go. And I need to, yep, there it is. So the way I do my, like, super high resolution pixel art is, you know, it's meant for, like, any display. Where's... You know, like... Where the hell? Oh, right, it's called that. Okay. So, let's see. There we go. How do I... Okay. All right. So real quick, like, go back over to this. Ba-ba. So yeah, I make my pixel art in a way that, like, it looks good. You know, I'm not using too many, like, weird things to that are meant for a CRT, which is part of why it's so high resolution and, you know, so, like, cell shaded and everything with its general look. But I do have fun sometimes running it through a CRT filter and looking at how, you know, because, like, the resolution this is drawn at, back in the day, these are techniques you would have seen. But you would have, like, a sprite this large would have been, like, on a character select screen or something, right? So, like, when you see it, like, through this, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, this is something that I would have seen back in the day and thought was an illustration, and then later found out, like, what do you mean it wasn't, like, a painting? It was, like, a sprite the whole time. So, like, yeah, I don't like playing retro games, like, extra crispy, extra crunchy like that. Those are Dante's Guns, Ebony and Ivory, because the full version is like this. This is for an upcoming Devil May Cry 3 stream that Udika is going to do. I did a couple of variations. Such as ones with Ebony and Ivory. And, like, coatless versions, because the first mission in DMC3. But then, of course, you know, I was like, well, what if I What if I flip them, you know, she's got heterochromia, right? Got 2 different color eyes. And there's 2 different color guns. So I was like, well, what if I flip it and just have an excuse for, you know. Anyway. Anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I really like the I think this filtered look is so much better than Secret Code, by the way. Than an unfiltered look. And like I've heard people say like, oh, it doesn't look good on stream, and I'm like, I've looked back at my streams with using like the kind of CRT filters. It looks fine. Alright. So by doing that code, we now have the sound test. And if we go to the sound test, you're gonna see the sound test is a sound test, but more importantly, it's a level select. Does this still work? How does... Oh no, that doesn't still work. What does still work is... We go to Mushroom Hill now. What's this nonsense with fake gamers being obnoxiously obsessed with resolution and crispness? I don't know. It's not as bad of a thing as it, like, it used to... There was a thing where, during the earlier years of emulation, people were really into their, like, Super Eagle and Psy 2 times whatever ugly-ass smooth filters that looked terrible. Because we couldn't do these, like, nice-looking CRT shaders back then. By the way, grab this and press the same thing. Left, 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 right, 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 down, down, down. Oh, no. It's up, up, up. Okay. Left 3 times, right 3 times, up 3 times. Got it. You know, so people really liked that ugly look for a little bit. And that's how you got people being like, no, you gotta play it without the filters. Because it looks better. And they were right. But then you got people being like, yeah, that's how it was intended to look. Was this really ugly, crunchy look that is not how it was intended to look. Nowadays, you get people talking more about CRTs. And luckily, the technology has caught up to where CRT filters are pretty good and pretty hard to tell the difference between if it's on real hardware or not. And yeah, like short of playing it on real hardware with a CRT, something like this is the best you're gonna get. Yeah, no, because even that's a little too crisp. Like that looks more like what it looked like. But yeah. And honestly, yeah, I've heard people say it doesn't look good on stream. That's not true. It looks fine on stream. If it didn't look good on stream, you also wouldn't be able to capture the regular games from the actual hardware because they also fuck up the signal. Anyway, we're going to press C to go to 3, I think. 03, I think is what I want. And then pick Sky Sanctuary. Yep. There we go. So this is the really cool thing. Knuckles gets this exclusive boss fight with the Teetering Angel Island, which is not actually a sprite rotation. It's the tiles shifting a little bit, but it looks really good. It looks like a sprite rotation, but it's not. Alright, so Mecha Sonic, he also survived. And we only get 3 rings, which is 3 more rings than you get fighting Mecha Sonic in Sonic 2. So you go, oh, this must be pretty easy then. That's a big deal. I'm like, yeah, no, it is. It's an easy fight, but again, it's got aura to it. Yeah, the TV filters are much better than the smooth filters. Like this, when you look at like the chrome on stuff like Mecha Sonic here, like let me get him standing up, right? And let me just turn this off for a moment. Turn off the scan lines. Turn off TV mode. Like, see the dithering on him, like, right here? That you're not supposed to tell that's dithering. So even when I just turn TV mode on, right, which is simulating an RF signal, notice how it blurs and creates more colors than he actually had. And then the reflected light down here, there's a lot of reflected light on old Sonic sprites. Like, they're very realistic, actually. There's a lot of really good chrome effects. Even just like this, which is a very simple effect, it's essentially nudging everything over 1 pixel and, like, dropping the opacity. It looks immediately so much better. Yes, it looks a little blurrier, but it's now already creating detail that wasn't there before. Now just putting some scan lines on just makes it just feel a little more, you know, just a little more correct to what you would have seen, because it darkens the visuals a bit, which would have been more accurate. And yeah, trying to find Lurika and Takako's Twitch channels, and I cannot find them. They are, if someone wants to just link them, but let me get the actual links for you. This is Rurika, and this is Takako. So there you go. I'm sure there's like better links that, like, you know, like here's all the, you know, all the info and stuff. But in the meantime, there is that. You're quite welcome. They are awesome. They are 2 of the coolest people I have ever known in my life. The coolest one is me. I know myself. Anyway. No, they are awesome. They are, like, super friendly, super welcoming, cool peeps. We did it! It's not over yet, Knuckles! 'Cause check it out! Oh my god! For some reason, this can happen. Robots can, I mean, and why not, right? Eggman clearly... This is the first use of Chaos Energy as a projectile attack that isn't just from a big machine laser. Technically, the first instance was the Death Egg robot that we fought. But, yeah, you know... Clearly, this thing's using similar technology, but it's using it not just to be a laser, but to actually, like, power up and do things that, like, honestly, Sonic wouldn't be able to do until, like, ever? Shadow can do stuff like this, but, Sonic probably could do a Chaos Spear if he wanted to, but, like, why? What's the fun in it for him, you know? Oh no. Oh, that's appropriate. I said, oh no. Wouldn't it be cool if this fight had a unique battle theme? I mean, a lot of people consider this to be his theme because of how much, like... Again, it's mechanically a simple enough fight, but the aura, man, it's off the charts. Oh, also, I'll crush you! Sorry, should have said that one earlier. Gonna go make dinner? Okay, enjoy your dinner. We're gonna finish up here soon. Oh, shoot. Yeah, we're gonna just go an extra little cycle with him. You can get him before he hops on the Emerald as well. Honestly, it's not a difficult fight. Let's see. Yep, there you go. But, like, legitimately, this was super cool. No, look, now he's low on energy, and he's doing, like, a fake ring attack? Whoops. Well. Ah, I knew that was gonna happen. Oh, well. We do it again. He spent too much time, looking at his beautiful pixel art that, you know... Seriously, though, like, it just... Oh, my God. This design looks so good, and this sprite is so cool. And, yeah, everyone rightfully associates Mecha Sonic Mark II with remixes of this song, and of course the I think it's cooler. I think it's a cooler voice clip from one of the Budokai games where he just goes, "I'll crush you!" Which is funny, so they actually made this character return in one of the arcs of the IDW comic, where he does indeed finally get to say, "I'll crush you," but predating him saying that in Super Mario Bros. Z, Metal Sonic, Metal Overlord in Sonic Heroes actually does say, "I'll crush you." So it's not completely out of left field. And again, you know, the shonen influence is definitely here. I think this is legitimately still one of the coolest things in any Sonic game ever. Just because, like, we hadn't seen anything like this happen. And it's hidden away in the Knuckles playthrough of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Like, most people were playing this to, like, you wanted to lock on with Sonic 2, and, like, you wanted the full, you know, Sonic 3 experience. This is kind of like a hidden little bonus here. It's super rad. I don't know what ending it's gonna give us. Either way, Sonic, he's a bro. Comes by, we get to return the Master Emerald to its rightful place. And we get the credits again, which is fine. I will do a full Knuckles playthrough of this in the future. Oh yeah, look, and here we go, back up into the air. Man, this game rules. I know I'm always saying that, but, like, legitimately, this is, like, one of the coolest games ever. It's so much fun to play. It really is. And it's the perfect game for when you're like, I just want to do a stream. I just want to play something for a couple hours. It's great for that. So at some point, I'm gonna play this again and again and again. This is my personal, it's like Rudy with Sonic Adventure, you know? Like, 100%. Where I just find any excuse to play it, play as many versions as possible. Yeah. Yeah. I do want to play, So here's the thing. Technically, because I did this on stream. Technically. I could just go to the next version of this next time I play. But I want to have a 16-bit squid to match, you know, the aesthetics of the game. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. But yeah, I want to play... I want to get my goddamn Saturn back. And I want to play the Sonic Jam version of this, because the Sonic Jam version is also really good. It's just a very good, like, actual real port of the game to the Sega Saturn. Not really anything extra or anything like that, but it's not an emulation. Like, it's a real port, so I think it's worth playing. Of course, I will play the... And I've played it a couple times on stream already, but I do want to play through the Origins version with restored music and audio, because I think that's also a very solid version of the game. Look at that weird, goofy, pre-rendered Knuckles. Oh my god. But yeah, I do quite like the Origins version. I think it's, like, actually really good aside from the audio issues. Which, again, they couldn't really do anything about. And then at some point I'll play Angel Island Revisited, but it's lower on the priority list. I'm really into, ideally, I do want to play stuff only on, like, you know, only on real hardware, and, like, I would like to ideally only do official releases of things, you know. Though technically, I mean, Sega did officially release this ROM a couple times in a couple different ways. But I do have interest in, you know, fan-made, like, recompilations and things like that. And I think Angel Island Remix is pretty damn good. Its strength and weakness is how customizable it is. It's a strength because it's like, oh my god, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with that. You can play as, like, anyone. Like, it's pretty easy to mod. Okay, we do have attract modes for other stages. That's cool. But, you know, like, at that point, like, I don't really consider Angel Island Revisited to be a version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I consider it to be Angel Island Revisited, if that makes sense. But I do still want to look at it and compare and contrast, because, like, this is, like, my favorite game ever. I want to play every version of it, but yeah. All that to say, expect me to play this a couple more times this year. Definitely expect me to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles multiple times. I'd still like to see the Saturn version of 3D Blast ported at some point. Me too. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Ah, yes. Hold on. So what you're referring to is something that I also want to play through at some point. Now, this is a much older version from years and years ago. I don't know if there's been, like, an updated take. But, this is, yes, Sonic Classic Heroes. Which is really cool. It is all of the levels of Sonic 1, 2... No, it's just Sonic 1 and 2. Let's see. B? Let's see. There we go. Let's see. We want AI on special stage. I'm going to hit no. Game type. Sonic 1 only. Emerald's Run. Sonic 1 and 2. So you can play through Sonic 1 and 2 as one game. Co-op mode. Classic co-op. Okay, go back. Select team. So we can do Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, or we can do Team Chaotix. We can also change how many players we want if you want to just do Sonic and Knuckles, or, you know. But this is good. We'll go with this, and then we'll begin play. So I don't remember the controls here. Okay, B is jump, A is switch that way. Okay, so it's just A is switch. Alright, cool. Yeah, so you can play through, this is like a really old ROM hack? Or at least an old build of it. But yeah, it kind of is awesome. Vector is, like, stupidly overpowered because he just has an air dash that you can do in different directions. So it's both, like, a double jump and an air dash. Also, I just love his sprites. Like, it's absurd. My partners, they don't know what the hell. That's fine. Whoop! There we go. Oh, look at SBO over there. Behold, ninja power. Oh, his sprite looks so funny here. Also, yeah, check these out, right? See these translucent mint things here? If I turn off TV mode, see? It's checkerboard. And yeah, like, there were people who were like, no, that's how you gotta respect the original pixels. And it's like, no, it's supposed to look like this. It's supposed to look translucent. It would have been translucent if they could do that on the Genesis, but they couldn't. But I want to do a full playthrough of this at some point too, with both teams, because it's just so cool. It's a cool way to play Sonic 1 and 2. And I'm going to say they took some inspiration from this with Sonic Origins because of the... What is it called, actually? I don't remember what it's called. It's not adventure mode. But there's a, basically, story mode in Sonic Origins that just staples all 4 games together in a row, and it's really cool. With, like, interstitial animated cutscenes. SBO invented Crash Bandicoot, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, SBO? Basically just Crash Bandicoot. Hey, let's switch to the B. Charmy is like, if you've never played Chaotix, this is what playing Charmy is like. Now, you can't do this in Chaotix, because Chaotix has weird stages. But, you know, we don't gotta worry about that here. He's basically cheating. Fan-made stuff is really cool. Yeah, there's also Super Mario Bros. Crossover, which is just Mario 1 with a bunch of characters from various NES games. And they play like how they do in their respective games. Yeah, I loved Mario Crossover back in the day. That was a Flash game, though. Can you still... I'm sure you can play that, like, through some other method nowadays. Oh, the B is so strong! This is ridiculous. There we go. Go back to Vector, the Crocodilian. Oh, here's another famous one. Here's another famous... Look how cool this looks, right? Now, this does look even cooler on a TV. But still, like, look at... Oh, wow, that looks really cool. Like, crazy translucent. Like, there's, like, a nice, like, rainbow effect on a TV. But, let's turn... Oh! Oh, that's not good. And, like, that's gonna make it look way worse on a video than, you know, than that is. Because that other one just looks like static, man. Whoops! Good thing we're playing a revision, so there's no insta-death spike kill. At some point, I do want to play that. Recently, there was a PC port of Banjo-Kazooie that happened as of, like, yesterday or something? So maybe when I get around to Banjo, I might just play that version, even though it kind of goes against what I said, where I like to play the original versions of things. Banjo is a game where I might need that. I might need some modern convenience, because... yeah. Anyway... Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here for this little impromptu Gurella stream of Needle Mouse Adventures. Not what it's called. Oh, Vector is jamming to the oldies. I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. But yeah, I'll catch you later on. We're going to continue Mario 64 this weekend. I'm gonna work on more art stuff, but again, like, there's some NDA things I gotta work on, so, you know. But, yeah, I'll catch y'all next stream, whenever that's gonna be. I don't really have anywhere to send anyone, because no one's streaming right now.